What's up, guys? We're back, baby. Number 24, I think.
Five.
Maybe 25. All right, 25, we're back. We got a lot of NFL to talk about. Last episode, we were kind of like trying to inch at a topic and find something. Now we're back. We got a lot. We
James
had
James Franklin just got hired at Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Yeah. Wow, that's a big deal, though. That's Yeah, that was predictable, but I'm happy for him, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe rebuild. Um, yeah, we got a lot of NFL to go over. We'll just get it running. Rams Seahawks yesterday. We always got to talk about the Rams first. Um, 21-19. Finally, a Rams game. Been busy the last couple weekends. You're obviously either watching or at most of these. I'll usually catch highlights like the last month, but I watched the whole game through and through yesterday. Um, it was, really great game. Um, Obviously, the Seahawks had a chance to squeak that one out, all things considered, that we'll get into. They had the game-winning field goal attempt, missed it way right. Um, McVay ekes one out, man. I got a lot of thoughts on the game, but I'll kind of start with you. Um, what were your main takeaways?
I I think my biggest takeaway is it confirms my suspicion that McVay is too conservative when he has a lead.
Yeah.
You watched the game yesterday. Around the around this, I want to say it was after they scored their third touchdown. They had two three and outs, and then their final drive they picked up a first down on the Puka jet sweep, and then they went three and out. So let's just call it three and outs in a row. You score a
Yeah.
touchdown on one of those, and the game's over. And it was just like this incessant need to just run the ball. Um, I didn't like the play calling at all because leading up to this game, the last like maybe 3 weeks, I want to say, McVay had been alternating Corum and Kyron in drives where Kyron would start
Yeah.
and he'd go to Corum and then flip back and forth. I think Corum had 10 rushes for 8 yards yesterday. Um, I don't know if I need to elaborate more on that. He's a good running back. Still has a lot to learn. My problem was that McVay wasn't feeding the hot hand, especially when Kyron was just ripping big
Yeah.
runs against Seattle.
The one thing I will say, and then I'll let you keep going. I just want to interject really quick on this specifically. Do you think a part of Corum's struggle was the Seattle front, or not really?
I do. I don't think he was like secretly injured or like he was dealing with anything because I didn't hear anything or see anything that would tell me that. But Kyron and Corum aren't too different. I think Corum's a little bit more shifty, and he's got a little bit more kind of a breakaway ability than
He's
Kyron does.
he's getting carries to the outside quite a
Yeah,
bit.
and the crazy thing is that Kyron was busting most of his runs into either into the B gap between
Yep.
the guard and the tackle, or the C gap outside of the tackle. And so it was like
Right.
a parallel universe yesterday watching them run. Because usually, like you're saying, that's Corum's bread and butter. Um,
Yeah.
I think Corum's problem yesterday was running into the A gap between the center and the guard. I think that was just not working in general, let alone with the guy who's probably not geared to do that. Um, but yeah, I didn't really like the play calling on the last three drives. I thought it was too shallow. Like they should have been throwing the ball a little bit more. I thought, like a lot. I thought they could have hit on play actions a little bit more. They didn't really use 13 personnel yesterday, just because I think the Seahawks, since they have Eamon Worry, like, and he's a big nickel, they use. I want to say it's either nickel or dime. I think it's nickel. They use nickel a lot against those bigger formations because they have a guy who can match up against tight ends really well. And
It had to
I
have been
didn't,
Nick. Yeah.
yeah, and like I didn't mind that necessarily, like schematically, I guess, because I thought they were going to have to win matchups against Woolen or against Joe. But like they had a backup safety playing the entire game, and I thought that they were going to take shots to kind of capitalize on that. Um, that was a little frustrating. But I mean, overall, obviously good win. You know, 4 picks against Darnold is pretty cool to see. The
Yeah.
defense, I mean, defense showed up, and that last touchdown, I don't really know if, I mean, obviously it counts, but like it was like 2 minute offense from Seattle, and like they had to score, and like the Rams were just playing prevent and trying to get them to waste the clock. So like,
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, they gave up 4 field goals, and I think all but one came from stops in the red zone.
Yeah.
Um, and so people talk shit about this defense. Like coming into the week, I saw Seattle fans like, "Oh, Seattle's going to rip apart this sorry ass defense. Like they have nobody on the defense." Um, and they forced four picks. The funny excuse that I keep seeing is, "Oh, Darnold's not going to do that again," or that's a one-off game from Darnold. Um,
Yeah.
I don't
I didn't see where does that even come from? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's just the stupid ass fans on Twitter that don't actually like watch football, and it's just more narrative based. But like Rams fans coming into the week were like, "Oh yeah, like it's the same Darnold that we saw in the 2 games when he was in Minnesota last year." And I didn't think that they were gonna get that off of him just because the Seattle offensive line is much better than the offensive line of the Vikings the 2 times they played. Um, but like they got interior pressure, and funny enough, it was the defensive tackles that were not Fisk or Turner who were getting the pressure. Um, I think Puna Ford got the last pressure to get the Darius Williams pick. Tyler Davis got the first Cam Kitchens pick pressure. Byron Young got the Kobe Durant pressure, and then the second Cam Kitchens pick was just a bad throw on like an inbreaker from Arroyo. Like he just jumped the ball. But I mean, I can't say enough about the defense. Like they carried the game yesterday.
yeah.
They didn't get any sacks, but obviously they got enough pressure to kind of make Darnold feel it. I think the big takeaway is McVay's play calling and the offense not clicking. I think that was just a bad Stafford game. Like he missed a few throws
He did.
throughout the game, and then Devontae had a couple of really bad drops. Obviously, Puka had a really bad fumble.
Yeah.
It's just going with the hot hand and what's working, because obviously stretch plays were working to Kyron really well, and he didn't have a carry from the first quarter until the third.
Why
Like
didn't even?
that's
That's.
nuts. That's terrible.
I'm looking now just to. I believe you, but I just didn't
I,
even like think
he
about
had
that.
6 carries in the first quarter, and he ended with 12. So he ran the ball
What the
as many
heck?
times in the first as he did in the second half, which is really fucking stupid. And this has been a problem with McVay his whole tenure with the Rams, is that when he gets a lead, he gets too conservative, and especially against a team like Seattle, where 2 plays to JSN and the game's close, it's not going to fly. But I, I will say that Seattle's defense is probably either the first or second best that the Rams will play all year, because they played the Texans week 1, as you and I both know.
Yep.
Um, and maybe I'm crazy to say this, knock on wood, nothing about them scared me yesterday. Like the offensive line had a couple of like, I think they had missed protections. The right tackle was frying my brain because he was missing so many easy blocks. And that was kind of where most of the pressure was coming from, was the right side. But nothing Seattle did yesterday was like, oh my god, like I'm terrified of this defense. Like their pass rush wasn't getting home a lot. Their corners weren't, making any plays on the ball that were like, holy moly. Obviously, Bryant had the really good punch out. And Landman almost had one of his own for the Rams, but the Seattle Barner recovered it. Otherwise, that would have been, I think, his like third or fourth straight game with the peanut punch, or for sure third straight game. So like, I, I'm not too worried about the offense. I think this coming week, knock on wood, I feel so sorry for Tampa Bay and what McVay is going to unleash on them as like a get right game, because I think he's going to unload a clip into them, just because of how poor his play calling was. Um, And then another small facet to end my little rant. The Rams special teams damn near outplayed Seattle's, which was like supposed to be like a huge discrepancy just because the Rams had like a backup kicker playing, and just overall their coverage isn't very good on punt or kick returns. And most of the time, I don't think Seattle returned a kick at all. But like, obviously they missed a field goal. They had like a ineligible kick. I don't know what the correct call was, but Seattle, I think, kicked it too short, which was another miscue. And then that was the greatest punt I've ever seen in my life. At the end of the game in the 2-minute drill, Ethan Evans, best punter in the league. Don't tell me
I
otherwise.
texted you right away. I was like, that was.
Yeah, that's the greatest punt ever that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like balls of steel, you lace that shit onto the 1 yard line. It spins 5 yards into the air and drops exactly where it landed. Missed the pylon by like this much. Yeah, Ethan Evans' agenda is in full force. Dude can squat 700 pounds. Best punter in the league. Don't want to hear otherwise. But yeah, I mean, good win. They're number one in the NFC West, number two in the conference. Stafford's number one in MVP odds. Knock on wood. It's going well, but they play Seattle once more. They got a couple more tough games on the schedule: Buccaneers, Lions, Seattle. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this takes them. I think that they can go one of two ways where they can get even better, knowing that the defense, I think that gives the defense a load of confidence that they could do that to an offense that was like scorching hot coming into the game.
Yeah.
And then flip side, I mean, the offense has shown that it can blow out teams. Like they put 42 up the week before, they put up 34 the week before, put up 35 2 weeks before between the bye. So, I mean, I think that they have a little bit to prove against the Buccaneers, and obviously when they play Seattle again, the offense has really got to show up because I don't know if the defense is going to have performances like that all the time. But I totally forgot. What's crazy is Quentin Lake went out around the end of the second, and he didn't play the rest of the third quarter. They arguably had their best game without their best secondary player. Obviously Kitchens played really well, but like Durant and Forbes were like insanely good. Like
Forbes was
next gen stats had Forbes when he was on JSN 3 catches for 30 yards. I'll take that any day of the week. And if Forbes can be like a really solid 2, once they get Akella Witherspoon back in week 14, I think it is, against I want to say the Cardinals or like the Panthers. I mean, that's scary. And then you have Durant and Williams, who I didn't really like the matchups that Williams had against JSN. That was pretty stupid of Shula to be matching up our slowest corner against, obviously, probably the best receiver in the league right now. But, like, I can't say enough. Forbes saved a touchdown on a long ball to Shaheed that was probably a little bit over or underthrown. But, like, that saved the game. That was one of the plays that saved the game. He plays super physical for being such a small guy. He's a really good tackler all of a sudden. So I appreciate Washington wasting their first round pick and essentially handing him to the Rams for free because he's played like a number one corner the last few weeks. So I'm very satisfied with how they've played. I hope Lake isn't out more than a couple weeks. I don't think they can afford to lose him for like 3 to 4 weeks.
I mean, yeah, they can't. But I mean, well, they can kind of in terms of like playoff berth, but like it depends what if you're trying to make a run at the 1 seed, trying to get a top seed, lock up the division early, whatever, like you can't really afford them at that point.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be. I think Philly's got the 1 seed on lock again, which is extremely unfortunate. But I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So
here I'll let you. I got a lot to go over, so I'll let you finish. Is there anything else you want to hit on before I?
I don't. I don't think so. I mean, uh, yeah, I don't think so. I just to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? So, I want to see the toughest teams in the playoffs. I don't want to see like if the Bears squeak in. I don't give a shit about that. Like I want to face I want to face the Niners. I want to face Seattle. I want to face Philly, Detroit. Like I want all the smoke with all these teams. Because I don't know if any of these teams come January when McVay opens up the playbook fully. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop them. Just flat
Yeah,
out. Like the AFC is going to be fucked if the Rams make the fucking Super Bowl. Like Broncos or Patriots are free fucking eats, bro. Sorry to Garland. Sorry to
yeah,
your
really
friends that are
funny
Broncos
because
fans.
we've had a huge flip in terms of conference like weight. It's been the AFC
Yeah.
for a good year, and yeah, it's flipped big time. Here's what I want to say about the Rams and Seahawks. I mean, just the game yesterday, and the Rams' outlook as well. I thought. I mean, we got. Here's the what you hinted at it earlier, but like the people making the Darnold one-off argument. The Texans may have lost to the Seahawks, but there were four turnovers in that game, and there were four turnovers, four picks, turnovers in general as well, in this game yesterday. I don't think it's necessarily a one-off here. Like I think the Seahawks, they can be in the Texans game, for example, good enough to like overcome it and win a game, sure, but like there's clearly like some sort of issue there. It's almost and we'll talk about Broncos, Chiefs, and that later. But some of these quarterbacks, like when they get heavily pressured, they just like some are at least formidable. Like obviously, you're better. Most quarterbacks, you should be better not under pressure than when you're under pressure. That's pretty self-explanatory. But like some quarterbacks can like kind of make it work, escapability, or just like they're not as phased. Their production doesn't go down as much. But like Mahomes, the two alarming losses they've had. Um, Jacksonville, that was kind of a weird one-off, but the Broncos game yesterday, just constant pressure, can't get anything going. Mahomes throws two picks. The Bills game throws two picks, constant pressure. Then we look at this Darnold performance. It's constant pressure. He gets a little rattled, forces balls to JSN, and he's not even like sometimes interceptions are thrown where like guys are, dropping passes, balls are in the air, whatever. Like the one throw to JSN on the out route, I forgot who caught it, but like it was right in the DB's hands. I think it was Lake on that one, I believe.
Durant.
It was Durant. Yeah, okay, that does sound right. Like there's a lot of these picks where like Darnold was throwing picks yesterday where it was like not good reads, right in defensive back's hands. Like that is cause for concern for sure. And the crazy thing is that people are missing as well in this game. Like this, and you kind of hinted at it with like the red zone stops. The Seahawks were actually moving the ball somewhat decently. Like the turnovers were huge, but like Darnold, did he almost hit 300 yards or did he hit 300? Yeah, they had 414 yards of offense. Darnold threw for 280. I mean, they were able to move the ball, but those turnovers were just, crucial. 1 for 4 in the red zone as well. I mean, and then the one touchdown they had was when they were in prevent, like you said. They were at 12 points and 4 field goals forever. So clearly the Seahawks are like, they're going to be a playoff team. They're formidable, but probably it's just not enough. It's a young team. They're going to continue to ascend, and we'll kind of see from there. On the Rams side, I totally agree with your like offensive concerns, the conservative play calling. Like we were kind of going back and forth texting about the game yesterday. Early on, when you were saying that, I was like, okay, like I hear you, but like they got this lead, and then they just really could not score again, and it was like, got to get more points on the board because they had 14 in the first quarter, and then they went 0-0 and finally scored 7 at the end. Right? And you can hear me, right? It says I have a connection thing.
I don't know if you can hear me,
Wait,
but
can you hear me or
I
no?
think you hit like a lag spike because it says reconnecting for you right now.
That's what I see. Are we back now? Or no? Shoot. Uh, dang it. Dang it. Um,
This is so weird. I don't know if Hudson's joining back right now or. I guess while he's gone, I will take over for the time being. I think he was talking about the Rams' offensive struggles, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they're able to do this against some of the better defenses. Like Philly's obviously performed really well recently. Seattle's still really good. Um, yeah, I mean, there's good defenses in the NFC. Even Detroit's pretty good. You know, if the Vikings sneak
we're
in,
back.
that's a good defense. Oh, there you go.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you catch? Because that means that's whatever.
It was
Like, where
literally
did it come out?
you were just like, yeah, I agree with the offensive concerns, and then boom.
Okay. That was weird. Sorry about that. We're back. Wow, I gotta figure out where I. Okay. So Seahawks, like you didn't get any of the Seahawks rant?
No. I mean,
Yeah.
you were talking about like the Kobe Durant pick, and then you were talking about their young team, but they're not
Okay.
quite there yet, type of situation. But then you started on the Rams. You said like, I agree with the Rams offense takes.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened, but we're back. The Rams' offensive concerns were valid. That you had, like we were going back and forth yesterday talking about that. They had 14 in the first quarter. Like, started great. And that's fine. Like, you can have scoreless quarters. It's the NFL. Like, I'm not gonna expect 56 points in a game. Obviously, 14. Like I get that. And you want to if you have a lead, you want to milk clock, be somewhat more conservative. I get that, but at the same time, like you gotta. It is the NFL, and the Texans can go on a 26-0 fourth quarter run, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta. You don't want to be, on chew clock mode in the third quarter completely. Like you got to get some sort of down the field shots in, that sort of thing. So that was a concern. But what I just told you before the episode was like the fact that the defense was the signature when we had been talking about Stafford MVP, type run, and the offense pretty much most of the year. That's a really good sign. It's really funny. I kind of want to put a Rams Super Bowl ticket in, but the odds are not ideal right now. Like I want to get the Rams after a loss or something, which is scary because who knows? Maybe they won't lose another game, but I feel really good about where they're at is really my point because the defense, the pass rush getting through, getting turnovers. I think that's what we needed to see, just to, like you said, instill a little more confidence in this team. Um, I mean, you look through the NFC. The Lions looked pretty abysmal yesterday. I watched most of that game. Like, obviously, the Eagles are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but can't look that ugly when you're kind of an offensive, juggernaut essentially. The Packers, we don't really know what to make of them at this point. And we'll get into the NFC North later. I really want to talk about that a lot, actually. Bucks, I think the Bucks are frisky. They just are so beat up. And the defense, I do not like that defense at all, to be honest with you. Like, that's a Baker show team. And I like Baker, but they're scary. And so it's really like Eagles, Rams at the top. And the Eagles offense still, I thought they were going to look really good last night, and they left a lot out there. Like, we saw Eagles, Rams this year, and, I'm sure you don't want to necessarily go back to that game and, unwind trauma, but I mean, they looked really good offensively in that game. Obviously, maybe got a little bit conservative. Who knows what exactly happened there, but they were competitive, and they had, the winning field goal attempt, I think, or tying. I don't remember exactly what it was. Got blocked, whatever. Like, that game was very close. The Rams they look like the most complete team in the NFC right now, in my opinion. So all signs point, great there. Obviously, it's a very up and down league, so we'll see how the Rams look week to week. But got to feel pretty good going into the playoffs here, I would imagine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in terms of that game yesterday. Yeah, the defense was pretty spectacular. We just need to see the secondary, continue to get healthier and stay healthy. I think that's the key. But yeah, you got to be feeling good after that. I mean, because I think a lot of Rams fans, including you, you didn't know how to feel going to that game yesterday. I mean, that was going to be a dogfight either way.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily prepared for a win or a loss.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, I think most like professional analysts or like people like on sports media had the game pretty close either way. I think maybe a couple more people picked the Rams in general. That's exactly how it played out. But yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a surprise to anybody. I don't think the score of the game, at least how close it was. So I'm
It felt like they were really. I mean, Seahawks moved the ball, but Rams controlled that thing. Even if it was, some conservative play calling in there, they controlled that thing. To me.
yeah.
Well, yeah, with the lag out and everything, we spent a lot of time on that game. So let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I hinted at the NFC North discussion, so let's kind of get into that. We have a new, very surprising leader at the top. Ben Johnson and Caleb, man. Obviously, I think they're not the best team in the NFC North, but it is very interesting to see them be at the top, control their destiny. The Lions and Packers have shown quite a bit of, weakness here as well. So, I mean, I'll kind of start here. That Vikings game yesterday, I watched a lot of that, and I thought the Vikings were. I mean, Vegas had them favored. I thought they were going to win that game. Maybe blind faith in J.J. McCarthy. We'll never do that again. But here's what I'll say about what they're doing. Like, Caleb has a lot to work on in terms of, decision making and kind of going through progression like Ben Johnson wants. But Caleb has clearly learned a lot. The arm is there. The explosive playability is there. And Ben Johnson calling the plays is clearly working. I mean, they ran the ball very effectively yesterday. Um, got the crowd out of it pretty early with their lead. And I'm not going to give a ton of credit to the Bears defense for the JJ McCarthy woes because I don't think the Bears defense is that great, but defense still did enough regardless. Do you think the Bears are like not a contender, obviously, but like, are they a frisky playoff team at all?
I'm not a huge fan of their run game, and none of their receivers necessarily like scare me. I obviously like Rome a lot,
Yeah.
but I think I think he's still developing, and I think at the moment he's like a really good number two. Um, and he could be a number one in the league. I don't think it's happening right now. DJ Moore, bum. The real interesting thing is that Luther Burden dude. I
Hmm.
wanted the Rams to draft him,
Yeah.
and I think I've told you that before. He's so fucking good. Like he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm not sold
Crazy
on
that he slipped
to the
the way he
second.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, and this offense would be even scarier if they had just drafted Tyler Warren instead of Colston Loveland.
Level
That's
looks good. Like he looks okay, I feel like. He's not
yeah,
bad.
but like out of the tight ends that have out of the tight ends that were drafted this year, obviously Warren has looked the best, even though he's probably a little bit older, I think, than the other guys. He's like 24, 25, and the rest are like 22, 23. And then obviously you have Gadsden out in LA, the stepchildren team, the renters. But like those have obviously been the two best tight ends as rookies. But like behind that, I would make an argument that Ferguson has looked better than Colston Loveland.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's
I mean, I'm splitting hairs at this point. I think I'll go back to the original point. I think the Bears are good, and I think the Bears have potential to beat. If they win the division, I think they have potential to beat a wild card team. Now, if Detroit comes into Chicago,
yeah.
I don't know about that.
That could be interesting though because of like the weather. They're just
Yeah,
interesting. If I think, yeah, it's a weird spot. It's a
but
weird
like
spot.
they've played already this year, right? In Chicago, have they?
Yes.
Because
Let me double check because
if I'm
I'm not.
remembering right, the Lions steamrolled them.
I think that's right. I think that was in Detroit. Hold on.
But
No, they played in Detroit, and the Lions steamrolled them in Detroit.
okay. I still think the Bears are a year away because I think they're missing a couple guys on defense. Like Jalen Johnson's out for the year, I think.
Yeah.
Like they're missing some key guys, and like I still think they need an elite pass rusher, not Montez Sweat. Um, but I yeah, I mean I just think they're a year away. Like I think they need to get off of DJ Moore's contract, bring in a different wide receiver. Either that's drafting a guy or signing a guy in free agency. But I think they need to shake it up. Um, and then obviously add another running back because DeAndre Swift is not the guy, never has been the guy, never will be the guy.
No.
But I mean, they're a fun team to watch. I like the city of Chicago. Like I've been a couple times. Like the people are super nice, super cool place to visit. Like I root for them if they're not rooting or if they're not playing against the Rams or obviously in unfavor of the Rams, if that makes sense. Like if they win a game and it hurts the Rams, I'm not rooting for them. But like they're a
Yeah.
fun team to watch. I think Caleb's going to be a really good quarterback. Ben Johnson seems like a really likable guy. Um, but I don't see it happening this year. Like I think that they're probably going to end up in the wild card.
Yeah.
And if they play the Rams in the first round, hasta la vista, pal. That's just the way it is. So
I,
yeah, I'm
I,
not.
I tend to agree. I just think it's pretty crazy that they're first right now, and we're in week 11, and they're atop the division. I mean, it's like
I
it's
mean,
nuts.
to be fair, they had the fourth place schedule in that division. So
Correct.
they've played the worst teams of certain divisions. Um,
And I'll
and
add that their tougher games are coming up.
who
Of
they, who,
that easy
yeah,
schedule,
who do they have still?
yeah, this is going to be crazy. You ready?
Yep,
They have
I know they have the Niners.
they have the Steelers at home this Sunday, and then two Philly, two Lambeau, hosting Browns, hosting Packers, two San Fran, hosting Detroit. So it's a pretty tough back half, but you still got to feel like at 7 wins now, they're going to be a playoff team.
I think they get to 10. I mean, I think they beat the Steelers. They steal one off Green Bay. Um, I mean, the Browns they should win. Obviously, that's a good defense, but like, I don't know if they beat the Niners. I don't think they sweep the Packers, and I don't know if they beat the Lions unless the Lions are resting their starters that last week. Um,
Yeah.
but
I would assume they're not because that could be probably, you know how they always flex a game,
oh yeah,
they always flex a, division. That could be the game they flex for the top of the NFC North. It's very possible.
yeah. I think I have. This is going to be a crazy take. Do you have more trust right now in the Bears or the Packers? And that's such an absurd statement to begin the year.
Oh, I know, and I really want to say Green Bay because I was 2 feet down on Green Bay into the year, but holy cow, dude. I'd have to say Chicago. I
I
have to
mean
say
that
Chicago.
game yesterday.
And I thought the Giants were gonna. That was if you watched any of that game, it was chaos. The wind was insane. And this is why I sometimes push back on you when you're like, very mad at McVay and whatever. Like I agreed with you overall for the record, like on the conservative play calling, but in the ins and outs of the game, you just want to win because half the
Yeah,
time it's just chaos, injuries, weather. Like the Packers are up against it in MetLife yesterday, but overall their sample is like it's not been good. And
Oh, sorry.
what?
Jamar got suspended for a game.
Oh, I did, yeah. It's so
Fucking,
crazy.
fucking
Yeah,
loser.
that was a whole nother. If I almost went crazy on Twitter because I mean, this is gonna make me sound crazy, but I had Steelers minus 5.5 yesterday, and it was the 4th and 1, and they covered soundly, but in the moment, Jalen Ramsey got an unnecessary roughness flag and got ejected, and gave him a first down from a 4th and 1.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no way that dude is going to cost me, this bet. Because if they scored a touchdown, I was essentially cooked. Then they throw a pick six and whatever. But yeah, he spit on him. He spit on Ramsey yesterday. It's
yeah.
so
I'm
crazy.
glad Ramsey punched him in his fucking mouth. Fuck
Yeah,
that
fire.
dude will never be wide receiver one. Sorry, guys.
But anyway, aside from that, yeah, I can't trust Green Bay right now. They I don't trust Jordan Love. I don't trust LaFleur. Josh Jacobs is banged up. There's nothing to trust on the offense. Golden's in and out of the lineup. Dobbs is dropping passes, and Tucker Kraft's out. Yeah, no, I trust Bears more than the Packers.
When does Toyotathon start? I'm so serious.
I texted someone that yesterday too.
It's like late November, right?
I think isn't it? I thought it was like a September. I don't know. I'm not. I don't follow cars. I don't know. But it'll be scary if Toyotathon starts. But I don't know, man. I know Christian Watson's back, and he got a deep pass yesterday. So
That was a good catch.
it was a great catch. I trust Ben Johnson more than LaFleur at this point. I think Caleb is like it's a kind of a roller coaster to watch their games because he does have his moments of a weird throw, not even a turnover, just what are you seeing? And he throws it's almost like he's a baseball pitcher throwing these passes. He'll see Rome Odunze in the end zone wide open, and he's like no one's around, and he'll throw it like 90 miles an hour, and it like you can tell Rome's like struggling to catch it because he's throwing it too fast. He'll be like, oh my gosh, that hurt, you know.
Yeah.
But but the playmaking is so there. That's what I like really can appreciate. I mean, if it's off script and it's a 3rd and 15, he can run for the 15 yards. I don't trust Jordan Love to do that. Not really. So, if you have anything more on that, we can finish up. But I kind of want to move to Broncos Chiefs in the AFC.
Yeah. We can move.
My Broncos to win the AFC West take got solidified yesterday. Felt pretty good, honestly.
Crazy.
They beat the Chiefs 19-16 game-winning field goal. I got the good end of that take, but at the same time, I also believe in the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl too. So it's a little two-sided here. I think, I mean, the defense looked fine for KC to me. It's offensively. They got to figure out a way. We've seen now the Super Bowl last year against Philly. We've seen the Bills game where Mahomes was constantly pressured. Even a little bit of that Charger game to open up the season 2. Heavy pressure there. And then this Broncos game. Like, they just cannot operate under pressure. That's kind of my underlying take of this game. The Broncos didn't do like overly enough to win offensively. Like Bo was clutch in the 4th quarter, typical GOAT Knicks. Let's get it. But like I can't sit here and be like, oh, Bo played a unreal cinema. Like he made great throws when he needed to, but wasn't anything over the top. The Chiefs have some. I mean, they've got Rashee Rice back. Kelsey's looking good. Worthy's in the lineup. They've got to figure this thing out in terms of up front and how they're going to get these guys the ball. Because, I mean, they're 5-5. They've got 7 games left, and they probably got to win to secure a playoff spot. They've got to win at least to like lock it in. They've got to win 5, at least.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't catch a whole lot of the game because I was sweating bullets watching the Rams game.
Yeah.
And I think this is more of like a generalized take for the last few seasons for the Chiefs. But their unwillingness to commit to a good run game with an actual solid running back number 1. Like Kareem's cool. I think he's much more of a number 2. Pacheco's pretty mid. He should be a number 2, and then Bashard Smith's a rookie. I don't really count that. Like they've had opportunities. Like they could have got Breece Hall this trade deadline for a 3rd, and they only offered a 4th, which is, when you think about it, it's crazy because obviously, like, if you're a better team, your pick is your selection is later in the draft. So like if you're the Chiefs and you're expecting to make it to the AFC Championship game like you have every year with Mahomes starting, that's basically a 4th rounder. So why not trade the 3rd and then sign him? It's so bewildering that they just haven't committed to it. And like who's the right tackle? Is it Jawan Taylor? Is that his name?
Yeah, Jawan Taylor, because Simmons is left tackle.
Yeah, and like there was a thing with Simmons. He like disappeared from the team for a few weeks with like a family matter.
He actually played well yesterday. He was one of the only bright spots on that line. Jawan Taylor was tough.
Josh Simmons, funny enough, is someone who I kind of wanted this past offseason in the draft, and he's looked amazing when he's played. Like you were saying, that kind of vindicated what I saw earlier in the year. But I mean, they have Trey Smith, they have Creed Humphrey. I couldn't tell you who the other guard is. I know that they got rid of Thuney this offseason, or Tooney.
Yeah.
But like, why have you not committed to a run game to give Mahomes something to work with? Like, Rice, Worthy, Kelsey, Brown. Like that's a good receiving core.
It's a really
right? Like we're not gonna sit around and pretend like this is like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, McCole Hardman, all this shit. Like that's like a top at least 12 unit in the league. Like I can't think of many more units that are better off the top of my head.
Well, that receiving unit, I think, is
I mean, like,
I mean, it should be top three, like including Kelsey with Mahomes throwing him the ball. That should be top three to me. That offense should be going nuts to me.
yeah, I mean, like off top, I guess if you exclude Mahomes and you just take the, top three wide receivers and the tight end, like the Rams are kind of top heavy at the top, but still up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Bengals have guys, Cowboys have guys.
Cowboys, yeah.
Dallas has, or not Dallas, Philly has a good receiving duo, really good tight end. Like,
is like top 10 receiver ceiling.
Yeah.
Like he's got to get back to form, but like he was dominant when he was in last year.
yeah, and maybe it's just him getting up to game speed, and like it's the fact that he hasn't played he hasn't essentially played since, because he blew out his knee right last year, and then he got suspended. So like he hasn't played since October of last year, and he didn't start playing this year until essentially like a year later, and he didn't get any practice. I'm assuming in OTAs because he was recovering from the ACL, and then he had his fuck up driving like Paul Walker. So like, yeah, the running game thing really frustrates me, and they should have just traded for Breece Hall, and I feel like he's a good enough running back.
I don't know why. I think they might really regret that looking back.
Oh my god.
What?
Wembanyama's hurt. I can't have shit.
That's actually really tragic because I was going to go see him play in Denver in like 2 weeks. So that's a bummer.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. Sorry. I derailed the pod for that. Sorry, my bad.
No, the Chiefs, and to be clear, like too, with their problems up front, like the Broncos deserve a lot of credit. I mean, we've talked about their defense a lot. That's a top 3 unit. But you should be able to get the Chiefs should be able to get 20 points. It doesn't need to be 30. Like they scored 16 points yesterday. That's pretty alarming. Let me just read off some of the stats here. Mahomes both threw for 295. I mean, what a legend. Yeah. Mahomes 29 for 45, 276. Just, you got to score more than 19. Oh, and I had the score. I was 22 to 19. That's right. You still got to score more than 19 though. You got to. You got to get in the 20s.
Call me crazy, but I don't. This might rub you the wrong way. One, the Broncos defense is not the best in the league. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I have more to follow up on this.
If you say they're like not the best, but they're top 3, like I'm not gonna like that. It's like you were saying earlier, like splitting hairs. Like I'm fine. I'm not gonna like tweak out. But they're top.
Okay,
3.
let me take it one step further. Are the Texans a better defense? Like, do you think the Texans are
close? It's very close. I think.
Do you think Seattle's a better defense?
No, I don't.
Really?
I think the Broncos and Texans are 1A, 1B, and then Seattle's right there. Like those are the top 3. I mean, the Texans. I would probably put the Texans a hair above Denver, but Denver's defense is really good. I mean, Denver's defense is number 1 in offensive touchdowns allowed, and they're number 1 in sacks, and they're 3rd in opponents' points per game. The Texans are 1st, and the Rams are 2nd.
Call me crazy.
Don't get me wrong. I just think those are 1A, 1B to me.
I don't know what it is, but it just seems like every time I watch them play, they have a shit game. Like I caught the end of the game. Like I with how good their defense is, with how good their defense is supposed to be, and how poor the Chiefs have been playing, I thought the game should, and I get it. It's Mahomes. It's Reed. Like any given Sunday. But like
Sure.
I remember the week where they almost got. I mean, they did get torched by Jackson Dart and no Malik Neighbors. Like they've given up some games where it's just like
That's fair.
like and maybe as a whole, like the numbers have evened out because they played games where they just like the Titans game, they massacred the Titans week 1. Like there's been some games where they've, I think, corrected, like righted the ship. But okay, so my take is that I don't think the Broncos defense is as good as advertised. Maybe that's crazy to say. And then on top of that, come the playoffs, even if the game is in Denver and they have to play like a Patriots defense with Mike Vrabel leading the charge, I think Bo Nix is going to shit himself. Like,
I can't. I won't push back on the Bo Nix. Like, I think Bo Nix played a great game yesterday. That being said, we've seen a sample size of like 8 straight weeks of bad Bo Nix play. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, whatever. Like, there are still Broncos questions, but I will definitely push back on the defense takes because if I scroll through, 12 to the Titans, 29 to the Colts. They should have won that game for the record. 23 to the Chargers when they were more healthy up front, with Alt and what's his name before he went out.
but that dude's been out the whole year. Slater.
I thought he played. Oh no, you're right. They did have Alt that game, but still, 23 to the Chargers isn't like abysmal. I mean,
It's not abysmal, but like I don't count that as a win. Like it should be like 17, sure, but like
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we might just look at it differently, which is fine. I think when you watch them play, that front 7 is just because they have, Surtain, I don't think he didn't play yesterday. He's been out, but he'll be back. He's not missing the season or anything. I mean, the secondary has questions, but that front 7 is just insane. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, the Broncos defense has to be top 3 to me. We can definitely question the offense, but like I don't think the Broncos, because we still have offensive questions, I don't think they're like a contender or anything. With a defense like that, they should be. I'll definitely say that. They should be better than they are, but we'll see. It's a team that could be frisky in a couple years, but yeah, with the QB questions are still there. I still think they've got to have a really, really solid weapon. I still like Sutton. I think he's just a really solid wide receiver too. That's what he should be in a really good offense. They should have like a AJ Brown perennial guy, and then with Sutton at the 2, Sutton would be flourishing quite a bit more.
And the funny part is they paid him like borderline number 2, but like they kind of gave him wide receiver 1 money.
Yeah.
So like they're a little handicapped in that regard. And then they lost Dobbins for the year, so it's going to be McLaughlin and Harvey kind of taking the workload. And Dobbins was playing really well.
He was.
I think it's similar to like the Packers, and like I think. I mean, I honestly don't even know if Love is better than Nix at this very moment, but like, there's just not like a guy on the team where it's like, okay, we're gonna throw this guy the ball, or we're gonna hand it off to this guy. Like, I mean, I guess Jacobs, but like,
no, I agree with that.
Like,
totally,
there's just no guy. Like, the AFC as a whole, I don't know who's gonna come out of it because it's just such a weird conference this year. And it doesn't seem like there's a number 1, like just screaming in your face. Like you can make the argument Eagles, Rams, there's a few other teams that you can maybe squeak out an argument for. But like, I think the Broncos are number 1 in the AFC. Are they the best team in the AFC? Probably not.
No,
The Patriots are number.
The Chiefs are better, by the way.
Yeah, like the Patriots are number 2 in the The AFC. Like, are they the second best team in the AFC? Maybe, probably not.
It's really interesting because I I think, and by the way, the odds reflect this, but I think the Chiefs are still the best. I think they're good enough coached to figure this out. Their defense is still looking good. Well, they're going to figure out this offensively. And again, they went up against a tough Broncos front. I think the interesting part is when I look at KC and I look at the way they're losing, and then the Super Bowl last year, and then the two teams in the NFC that are at the top, the Eagles and the Rams. Like it seems like a year where if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl again, they're just going to lose it in the same fashion because they just won't be able to guard up front. Either Eagles or Rams, theoretically.
I would be salivating if the Rams made the Super Bowl and they got to play against that O line
Yeah.
and Stafford got to see that defense with that secondary.
No, I agree. Honestly, if it was Rams Chiefs, I would not feel good about the Chiefs there.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, it's the Mahomes, Andy Reid pedigree as well. You trust those guys, but in a spot against like the Rams, it's not like the Rams haven't been there. Like the Rams have been a playoff team these last years. They obviously have the ring. I don't know. People forget. I mean, the Rams were very close to beating Philly last year in the playoffs. Like they've really been there. They're here to play. So, yeah, the AFC is interesting. I mean, I still think. I mean, Buffalo looked good yesterday, but that defense is just not good enough. It's not going to be good enough in January. Like Josh Allen's great. He really is. He had a couple bad picks, but made up for it with the way he played. Other than those picks, but dang, man. I mean, they gave up 375 to Tampa doesn't feel that bad, but like the way the Tampa was scoring, it was like Tucker in the flat on a wheel route, and then he just runs 80 yards. Like they did that like 2 or 3 times yesterday. Like Buffalo will not be in the mix in January, in my opinion. They might make the AFC Championship, but they won't go past that.
But yeah, I agree with that.
I'm trying to let's see. Other than that, yesterday, I mean, where do you think the Lions are going to end up? I mean, are they going to figure it out?
I still think they win the division. I think that's kind of a one-off game. I don't know if it's because I'm a Rams fan and they beat the Rams in the playoffs, and then the following year they beat the Rams in the regular season and in overtime. But like, I think if like they played again, the game, like I think Detroit scores more than 9.
Yeah.
The one little tidbit is that, I mean, as you know, I'm like Jared Goff's #1 hater. Never will win a Super Bowl, knock on wood. But like, it's almost too obvious as to what the problem is, and I think you can fact check this, but every time the Lions running backs don't combine for 100 or more yards, they lose the game. They lost to the Packers. Why? They didn't get the run game going. Why did they lose to the Chiefs? They couldn't get the run game going. Why did they lose to the Vikings? Because they were playing from behind, didn't get the run game going. Why did they lose to Philly? Because they didn't get the run game going. Like it's become weird because I don't think David Montgomery's as utilized as he was in the last 2 years. Kind of has like this 1-2 punch. I think they're leaning a little bit more on the Sonic versus Knuckles portion of the.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had a couple screen passes where it was like,
oh yeah,
am I watching Todd Gurley play football right now? Like I was having flashbacks to being in high school and being like, oh shit, like this is.
He had 107 receiving yards yesterday,
like, which is absurd. Yeah. And like he was getting the ball 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then just dusting their defense. So like they have guys, but like the funny thing is, I mean, they paid all these guys like Sewell, Amon-Ra, J-Mo, and they were banged up. Like they didn't have Kirby Joseph, they didn't have Terry and Arnold, who I don't know if that really makes a difference. But like they were missing a few guys. They don't have like I don't know if Amon-Ra is as good as advertised. Like if he has to win 1-on-1 against like a big corner on the outside, I'm taking the big corner on the outside every day of the week, twice on Sundays. Like he's a much better slot receiver, and they kind of paid these guys to be like, you know, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. I'm not entirely sold on the way that the Lions have built their team, and I'm not entirely sold on. I mean, realistically though, who do they play in the NFC? Like if they win their division and they play in the NFC, who's really competition for them minus the Rams or minus the Eagles? Like
no one, I don't think.
Like
I think they're solid.
Unless they had to go to Lambeau, which that doesn't seem like it's going to happen, and even then, Lambeau or the Packers don't look good right now. Or like maybe Chicago, if that somehow holds up as it is right now. But like they're going to have decent weather to play in, and like they're going to be in the Dome, they're going to be in LA. Like it's only until they reach Philly where it's like you know. So
yeah,
I'm not entirely worried about them in the grand scheme of things, but like you get pressure on Goff, and that's what happens.
It's and I know when we sent picks and talked about this game, you were very confident in Detroit, and I'm not even hating on that. It's just we've seen this time and time again, like the outside games, the tough pass rushes. Like some quarterbacks don't have it. Darnold doesn't have it. Like if it's pressure and it's outside, whatever. Like it's just some quarterbacks can overcome circumstances and some can't. And again, it's tough to throw the ball when the wind is up. I get that. Like Hurts was also bad, but neither of us are high on Jalen Hurts either. I mean, Goff was 14 for 37 yesterday.
That warms my heart.
That's pretty bad. I mean, there were a couple drops, but I mean, I know you watched that game, as much as I did. Like, there was it wasn't pretty. He was inaccurate for the most part.
And I think there was 5 batted balls between the 2 defensive tackles, Davis and Carter.
Yeah.
Like he's just throwing it right into their fucking mitts.
What do you say?
He's just throwing it right into their mitts. Like they have their hands up pre-pass, like pre-throw, and then he throws it immediately into their hands. Like it's gonna be funny if they don't win. It's gonna be funny if they don't go very far this playoff. Like if they lose in the divisional round again, or the wild card. Is it the divisional round before the conference championship? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
If they lose in the divisional round this year, I think you genuinely have to look at getting rid of Jared Goff, which I know he signed an extension with them, but like they're not going to win with Jared Goff as their quarterback unless they build an ungodly defense around him, which I still think that there's a few holes, probably secondary pass rusher kind of in the interior. Like they're not going to win anything, and it's hilarious. So yeah, I'm not.
It's just tricky. It's all matchup based. I mean, again, and you can like hate the weather, and I'm not saying this to you. Like people can hate the weather take, but
it's real.
Look at Stafford last year in the snow game in Philly. That was a dogfight. And the Rams were right in that game until the very end. Like, quarterbacks can overcome this stuff. It's a mix of coaching and play and everything. I get it. But quarterbacks can do it. And Goff is not one of them. And the Lions are phenomenal, like, when they're firing. But, man, like, this is my concern into the year. Like, you lose coordinators. It just, I don't know. If they play the Rams, that's a guaranteed indoor game, so that would be fascinating for sure. But I mean, if they have to go to like to Detroit again, or let's say like that Chicago game we talked about earlier, that would be interesting for sure. I would probably say I trust Caleb more in a snow game than snow, wind, winter game than Goff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I
14 for 37. And yeah, like you said, when it's a team where you have to run the ball, and they don't, I don't know. That's a tough spot.
yeah.
Because I do think their defense overall has looked better. Like the Eagles really struggled yesterday as well. Kind of similar circumstances for them, which is, again, why I'm a little higher on the Rams than the Eagles. But, I mean, like the Lions defense looks better than it did last year. They're healthier 100%. But it's not there. It's not there right now. Clearly, and it's a Goff issue. So
What's that one Devontae quote when he was playing against Surtain and he busted him when he was on the Raiders? He said he not there yet.
Yeah, he's not there yet.
That's the Lions. They not there yet.
I mean, it's tough because, again, if it's an inside game, like, who knows? But and I mean, they choked that. Now I know this is very different, but that Niners game in
2 years ago.
Yeah, at Levi. I don't know. I just not with Goff. You're starting to be right on that one.
Buddy, I've been right on that one since they drafted him. If they had drafted Carson Wentz, they would have won the Super Bowl against the Patriots. That's like the biggest what if I've come across as a Rams fan. Like they could have schemed way better. That's whatever. I don't want to think about it. Yeah. Goff is not a top 10 quarterback. I don't care what anyone says to me. I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback, and I hate Jalen Hurts. You know that.
Yeah, we could talk about Philly too. I mean, we'll wrap this one up probably, unless you got anything last minute. But Hurts is, I don't know. I get Philly could win another Super Bowl this year, and he'd have. It
won't be because of Hurts.
It won't be because of Hurts, man. Like I don't know. Davis Mills could do what he's doing. Sorry about it.
There's about 20 other quarterbacks that could probably insert into this team and they'd look better. And Lane Johnson's out 4 to 6 weeks with a Lisfranc, so he's basically done for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too because every game he's played, it feels like the last 3 weeks he's left the game with an injury.
Yeah, he left the last game, the Green Bay game.
And the game before that, he left the Rams game when they played it earlier in the year. And Mailata hasn't been as good as he has been this year as he was last year. So some food for thought. And people. Okay, last parting take. People shit on Kyron Williams last year, Rams fans, because he's got a fumble problem. He doesn't average 26 yards per carry. Okay. Look at how many yards per carry Saquon's averaging this year.
Whoa, it's rough. It's really rough.
It's under 4.
Yeah.
And he has God Squad O-line. And yeah, they've been banged up, but they have the best offensive line coach in the league. They have solid depth. I'm so tired of people. The same people who were fucking shitting on Kyron and get cut after the Philly fumble last year are the same ones that were screaming, get more touches yesterday. I've been a Kyra truther. That Philly game was not on him last year. I will die on this hill. He had a fumble. Stafford had a fumble. The offense didn't show up the beginning part of the game. Run defense gave up 3 big touchdowns. I guess my thing is it's a team game. There's 48 dudes that suit up every single Sunday or Thursday or Monday. it's a team game. It's a team effort. Um, to blame a loss on one, like Seattle fans that are like, oh, this is on Sam Darnold. Sure,
Yeah.
maybe if your right guard and center did their fucking jobs, you would have won the game. Maybe if your run defense didn't get thrashed by Kyron Williams and give up almost, I mean, it's 12 for 90. So what's the math on that? That's 7-8 yards a carry. Maybe if they didn't get busted out of their ass for that. Maybe if Tariq Woolen could cover Devontae Adams, it's just so wild to me that everything, like, unless a player is just shitting bricks, like if they're fumbling the ball super easily, right, and you're scoring on every drive, or like if a corner's just getting absolutely burnt, a little different, but like it's a team game. Like, make adjustments, do the things necessary that you need to fix the problem. Like, I don't know why that was such a emotional rant for me. I just had to get that off.
Hey, the Rams are team guys, man.
I don't think Sam Darnold's a bad quarterback. Like,
No, of course he's not. I mean, he's played phenomenal this year.
And he played well last year. Like, I'll eat shit. I think I said at the beginning of the year, like, I'm not really scared of him, and like as a Rams fan, it's a little different because he hasn't beat them. But like, outside of his like little turnover problem, like he throws a good deep ball. He can find intermediate guys. He gets the ball out quick. Like he's like he's better than Jared Goff this year.
Yeah. I mean, he, before the Rams game, he was the #1 rated by quarterback PFF. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's Stafford.
Like, does that mean he's #1? No, but like, I'm just saying, in terms of like PFF, like it's got to say something.
Yeah, it's just people are so quick to just jump on this like whole get rid of Sam Darnold, play Jalen Milroe, please play Jalen Milroe, bro.
Milroe would be awesome,
dude. I would love to see Jalen Milroe make his first start against the Rams week 14, 15, whatever it is. That's free fucking eats, bro.
Yeah, nah.
Like what Roquan said about Shadur, like you're playing a rookie quarterback, like you gotta, like they're supposed to struggle. Like, yeah, it was just crazy seeing some of the takes I saw yesterday on Twitter. I know I'm a little bit more online than you are, and I see some of these things a little bit more often, but like
people, my thing always, and like people like all, send out my picks, and people like overreact in the first quarter to, a bet losing or something. And I'm like, people are very, very, very like reactive and quick on these takes, and then they're like really bad. And I'm like, you gotta see it out, big sample, like don't, dopamine fiend, like just like calm down, see it out.
I'm guilty of it with the Rams.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's different. It's. I feel like it's slightly different when it's like your team and you're like, I don't know,
stressing.
Yeah, exactly. It's the stress piece.
Like, I was pissed when Puka fumbled the ball yesterday, but like, I'm not going to blame Puka for the game. Like, Devontae had drops. I texted you. I'm not going to blame him for the game. Like, it's
it's a unit thing. All right, well, that'll wrap up 25. We had our picks up this week on Instagram. That's in the description. Everything's in the description. So I appreciate y'all if you made it this far. And we should be back probably next week. Probably no more this week, but next week we'll hit it going again. So Davis Mills, top 3 quarterback, baby.
General Mills.
All right.